Hey guys, Joe Tyler here. This is just the beginning of a couple set of videos. These are all about famous and essential drum rhythms and grooves that are, well, essential. They're really important to know because if you're sitting in for a couple songs in a bar or you're actually playing a set, you know, you need another style of music. And if they call a song for like a Guaguanco or Bossa Nova, you know, it's important to know how to play it or else you're kind of out of luck. So, first off, in this video I'm just going to play through all the rhythms, and then through the next couple of videos I'm going to actually explain how to play them. So the first couple are going to be Afro-Cuban and Latin rhythms, and they include the Bossa Nova, the traditional Mambo, the Samba, the Soca, the Cascara, the Songo and the Guaguanco, and the Bembe or the 6/8 Afro-Cuban. So basically, I'm going to start off by just playing through them all, and then yeah, I'll make videos on how to play them. So in Afro-Cuban music, to start off, clave is very important, and there's basically two different types of clave. There's a song clave and a rumba clave, and each one is built up of 3 notes, 3 clave hits in one measure followed by 2 in the next, or vice versa. And the only difference between the song clave and the rumba clave is the last note in either the 2-bar or the 3-bar. So in a song clave, you play it like the traditional Mambo, which sounds like okay, or in a 2/3 form. And then for the rumba clave, you just move the last note in the 3-bar or the 2-bar 1/16th note later if you're playing this in 4/4, or 1/8 note later if you're breaking this into 2 bars. So this would be or in 2/3. Now, if you're playing a traditional Bossa Nova, this is how you play this. You use a rumba clave on the 2-bar. And again, it can be played either a 3/2 like I just played now, or 2/3. After that is the Mambo, which I kind of demonstrated without the rest of the components, with just the song clave. You just add in the hi-hat and the bass drum. Alright, and that's the Mambo. And after that, we're going to go to the Samba, which is usually a more up-tempo rhythm, which can be played either on the hi-hat and the cross stick, acting as the clave, or as on the bell, or just a ride cymbal, or a cowbell, or something like that. So, you know, any combination of those works, but this is how that goes. And then how I like to play it is on like the bell. And that's the Samba. Now, for the Soca, it's a little bit different. You're not playing a closed hi-hat the whole time. In this case, you're actually playing either 1 and 2 and an 1/8 rest, or 1 and then a 16th rest, with an open hi-hat on the last beat. So, and like that, and then just with snare and bass. From there, we go on to some a little more complicated rhythms, starting with an explanation of what the new bass drum pattern. So in all of these first 4 rhythms, they all used, or at least mostly used, a bass drum pattern with the 1 and 3 and 1 and 3, or you know, 1, 3, 1, whatever, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, depending on how you're counting it. Either cut time or 4/4. So basically, this new rhythm is called a tumbao pattern, and you're actually playing on the end of 2 and 4. So it's 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's the tumbao pattern, which is used in the next 3 rhythms, which would be the Cascara, the Guaguanco, and the Songo. So for the Guaguanco and the Cascara, they use the same symbol, or in my case, left-handed pattern. So for a Cascara pattern, it is this. Okay, and that's basically the pattern. Now, this Cascara was originally played on the side of a timpani, and then shifted down to a timbale, because I guess timpanis were too large and hard to get a hold of. So then they brought it down to a timbale, which are a lot easier to move and stuff. And then to make it on the drum set, they converted it to the best sounding drum, which happened to be the floor tom, the shell of the floor tom. All right. So that's the pattern for that, and then on top of that, we're just going to play the and of 2, and leave out the 4, and then play a 3/2 rumba clave on top of that. So it's going to be. Now that's a tricky one, especially when you're trying to play the tumbao pattern on underneath the, playing the rumba clave with, at least my right hand would be, I guess, your left most likely, and then the shell of the tom. But it takes a lot of practice, and I've really only been working on a lot of these rhythms for the past couple of weeks here, and I'm starting to get them down pretty well. But that one especially is pretty tricky. But once you get the independence and coordination down, it becomes a lot simpler. I found myself really trying to slow it down at first, and then speed it up as it needs to go, because most of these are actually in cut time. So, all right. But anyways, this is that was the Cascara. Then the Guaguanco. It's really odd sounding, but that's what it is, and it uses the same pattern as the Cascara, which is. Okay, and with a little more stuff going on, all 4 limbs here, and it gets a little more challenging. So. Notice I was still using the tumbao bass drum pattern, except I was just eliminating the beat on 4, just the end of 2. And the last rhythm that uses the tumbao pattern, that's really a quintessential Afro-Cuban rhythm, is the Songo. So this rhythm uses cowbell, and it's also in cut time. and it's fairly simple with a neat snare drum pattern going on here, but this is how that sounds. And then the last rhythm that I'm going to at least share today, demonstrate, is the Bembe, or the 6/8 Afro-Cuban. So basically, it's a little different sounding, obviously since it's in 6/8, and can be played in two different ways. So you can either play it with a 2 feel, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or as in 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, in my case, I'm going to play it with a 2 feel. I think it sounds, I think it kind of has like a swing shuffle feel to it, so you could actually implement it in some 4/4 times, and then convert to 6/8 and then back to 4/4. But in this case, yeah, I'm going to play it in a 2 feel. So. And that's the Bembe. Now, that is the last rhythm that I have to share, but I just wanted to show a more involved and more rhythmically entertaining, I guess, version of the Mambo. Because when you're out here playing just like the Bossa Nova, your traditional Mambo is just. So this is the more interesting Mambo. Now, I'm obviously not the best teacher for this, but I've been working on these myself, and they're very, very important to learn. And I hope that by watching this, you can learn something from this, and I hope to expand the minds of other drummers. So through the next videos, I'm just going to go through an explanation of how to play each of these. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.